honestly, that's the team that they're going to be facing. You got MIKEBOY, Stake, and CATALYSM. Those are three names which I imagine most of you will have heard of. But here's the thing, a little bit of debate over these three. Are they has-beens? Do they have more to prove as they look towards 2024? A lot of those questions I'm imagining will be answered tonight.
Maybe tonight, maybe in the upcoming weeks. Of course, we don't know how many times they're going to be playing, but I hope to see some excitement coming through from this team. But one thing I do want to take notice of again, Sima's out, MARCBY8 in, right? It's a move that on paper makes sense. But is it going to enable TEHQOZ even more than what we saw last time?
And there's, again, answers. Lots of answers to be found. We're in the library. We're opening up the books. Now let's see if we can understand the text in front of us. At the moment, it's very much as you would expect at this stage. Both teams trying to find their way early on in the game and already forcing double commits are, okay, let's do it from the defense, but no breakthroughs as of yet.
And also another person I'm going to be looking at is MIKEBOY right here, straight down from the ceiling up down. And another person I did actually want to speak about, because we have a bit of a slower paced game so far, RIZEX. We casted at finals RSO together. He was amazing. He was that entire tournament. He was playing stellar, and I'm curious if he can get that same level again and has just reached a new peak, so to say.
TEHQOZ as well, and I quote myself, having the tournament of his life. But here's the thing, you want to prove yourself at the very top, you got to have the tournaments of your lives time and time again. And speaking of time, well, I think it's about time for a kerfuffle in the middle. MARCBY8 scores, he'll claim it, but how it gets there is quite amusing.
From the shadows as well, no one on Okay Let's Do It had any idea he was there. He just rides from behind them, sneaks past them, gets the ball on target through a bit of luck, so to say. An easy 1-0 lead, and it's happened with 0 shots on target so far for Team 2.
Ooh, Stake going for a bit of a fancy flick, denied by MARCBY8 off the bar, and here he is again. That's a nice fortuitous pinch away as Team 2 reset their defensive rotation. Stake bumped and volleyed out of his place. Oh, that's a complete whip from CATALYSM. Thankfully for him, MIKEBOY on hand to throw it away. The counter-attack downfield cancelled out by MARCBY8. He is all over the pitch in these early stages.
Tries to take some control here. CATALYSM into 50-50 into the hands of Stake we go, but he loses control. Can't get it anymore, but MARCBY8 has no boost in the tank. Means that CATALYSM has a bit of space here. Gets one touch, gets second. 50% tries to get past TEHQOZ and gets another 50 on the midfield and just keeps this game slowed down.
I like the overall game plan here, though, from the orange side. You can definitely tell that the offensive overlaps are working quite nice in the build-up play, but it's just lacking a little bit of pace. It's easy enough for Team 2 to dismantle, but you just look at the past minute of game time right now, and it's all okay, let's do it. They're just lacking that goal to put Team 2 on the back foot.
No real... There is pressure, of course, but it's not anything that's decisive just yet. Maybe this could be for CATALYSM, but put to the side for TEHQOZ. Stake, once again, trying to get it high, tries to get it in front of the net. CATALYSM in an awkward position here, drops it straight to the ground. MARCBY8 to the side once again. There's the boost as well. Even though MIKEBOY has this, you can tell that the offense is not going to be anything dangerous because of the boost steal and because the enemy's already on an attack again.
It's a masterful control of the midfield, and that was a great opportunity. Should have been put away. Is put away. Quite fortuitous in the end for MIKEBOY, but it's a tap.
Hey, we all need a bit of luck, don't we?
Sure. Right. Sometimes you got to make your own luck, though, Spooks.
Was this made or was this given? Because those post bounces are quite dangerous to guess.
My answer will be yes. Also, yes, we got a series on our hands, one apiece, with just less than 2 minutes to go. And Okay Let's Do It have certainly earned that goal. All of the momentum in their favor, but Team 2 looking to get back, and RIZEX is demoed at the midfield line. The shot is put away. MARCBY8 can only find Stake on the backboard. That's a great clearance, and these transitional plays are going to be even better if they're given away like that. MIKEBOY, wrong place, wrong time this time around, as CATALYSM pops it up, has to take care of the danger, and he does so.
15 mark once again. RIZEX as well on the wall. Ooh, good bump from RIZEX. Gives TEHQOZ a lot of space, a lot of freedom. He's going for the demo. Solo play, the mechanics on this play. This man cannot stop.
And it's RIZEX at the heart of that. Fantastic bump to open up the scoring lane opportunity for TEHQOZ. Still got a lot to do, though. Still got to time that demo run perfectly. Aerially challenged as well. Completes his task with aplomb, and the lead is re-established with 60 seconds left. Oh, big save for TEHQOZ straight off the kickoff.
Forward once again, MARCBY8 tries to find his teammate, but Stake actually gets a good interception right there. TEHQOZ gets it away. Can he find a follow-up touch? He does, and it's on target, but CATALYSM easy hit to the side. 1 minute left on the clock. What can you do? It's okay, let's do it. Their turn this time around in the offensive half. It's MIKEBOY to the middle. But again, there's no really second man ready to help or assist in any way or form.
I've been really impressed with both sides, to be honest. Though, often with these sorts of tournaments, you're asking who's going to make the first mistake or who's going to be a team that accrues the most mistakes over the 5-minute period, over the series length. But a lot of the basics being done right for these two teams, and it shows with the low scoreline. You rarely see boomers like this, but this one will go on target, this one will go in, and CATALYSM just a little bit afraid to jump up. There was a looming presence over his head.
A snipe from the distance. RIZEX probably noticed that the defenders were maybe a bit too far pushed up. Of course, it's what you have to do if you're okay, let's do it, because you're already 1 goal down. 2 goals aren't going to make any difference if you're going to lose anyway, so let's just try and get something out of it as RIZEX. And maybe tries to get a little bit of a 50% out of it.
Great comms. As I mentioned, CATALYSM perhaps a little afraid to go in for the challenges. Ultimately, any jump would have run into the path of TEHQOZ, who had that particular area covered. Very accomplished performance from Team 2. Okay, let's do it certainly had their moments, and with a couple of more swings in their direction, couple more challenges going their way. Might have been a different result on a different day, but it's not a different result. It's not a different day. It's today. Team 2 win, and they go 1-0 up in the series.
But is it unexpected? Is this something that we should be surprised by?
I wouldn't say so on first impressions. In fact, if I was to give you a series scoreline before we started watching that first game, I probably would have said 3-1 in favor of, okay, let's do it. And actually worth reminding people of the format. It's been best of 3 up until this point. It's best of 5s up until the grands, which are best of 7. But Team 2 for me, especially adding MARCBY8 into the mix over Simas, as long as the synergy was there, in my mind, that is a direct upgrade on a player that still has a lot of experience to gain at the very top end of things. So they should be putting, okay, let's do it away. Of course, it all depends on that first game and how you go from there. And so far, so good.
So far, so good. The one thing I am a bit worried about was that the offensive half of Team 2 was really hard to find. They were struggling to get consistency on the offense and stay there. That was my big problem. But then again, their counterattacks were really strong and always lethal. Maybe they can get one right from the get-go again, but this... I was going to say a mistake, but maybe it was planned from, okay, let's do it.
Certainly not planned is the fact that I've been kicked from the lobby, Spook, so please feel free to take the mic whilst I get back in.
It's my final time to shine. I can talk as much as I want to as TEHQOZ. Flip resets 50 shit into the middle. The ball's forward. Once again, RIZEX tries to pre-flip into the ball. I respect a bit of freestyle energy coming out here, but it's not good enough. It goes all the way to the other end. MIKEBOY has an open net to shoot at, and the counter-attack from okay, let's do it, finally bearing fruit.
Hey, good news. I can actually watch the stream, and so I can comment on this play, and it all seems so simple, but it's just a great bit of work from okay, let's do it, to look for those inside passes. Too often, I think, Spooks, we see people going to the outer wings to try and stretch the play as much as possible. Sometimes the shortest pass will give you the greatest success.
Sometimes it is just like that, as once again, okay, let's do it. Once find another one from the offensive push, but have to settle for a bit of a defensive hold. Just grab some boost, take it easy, just save this easy shot by MARCBY8, push it forward once again, tackles with 50 into the corner, gets it up into the air. Can he find another touch straight down into the hands of RIZEX? But he gets a demo out of it, but not really anything sustainable for them, as this ball gets put into the middle once again. TEHQOZ has a shot to have, and you can see this one, and you should see this one.
Oh no, I still most certainly had access to the stream, and now I'm actually back in the lobby, so I can say, sheesh, that's super nice. Oh, almost got there, CATALYSM, almost got there, but even so, traveling back towards the net, back towards your own bar, the best you're hoping for is a huge pinch that goes in your favor. Otherwise, you're just setting up for another shot. So ultimately, great response here from Team 2 to tie things up.
RIZEX is clear forward. TEHQOZ gets to touch the RIZEX once again. RIZEX onto the backboard. Makes it awkward for CATALYSM, who still had enough boost to actually get the save here, but doesn't have much more than that, and leaves it up for TEHQOZ, who has a straight shot once again. Stake to the side. But it's RIZEX keeping pressure going, keeping it flowing, something I told or said during the 60-second break we had. Hey, that's something I want to see maybe a bit better, maybe a bit more of. They're finally doing it. They're getting that sustained offensive pressure.
I couldn't agree with you more, actually. I think you were spot on. They had great quality shots, did Team 2, but they were a little bit too far and few between, and, well, it was a little bit too far to reach the ball. Well swept up. Stake dispossesses. Cut out by TEHQOZ. Not got much boost to work here. A simple clearance will do fine. MARCBY8 looking for demos, looking for boost more crucially. Up steps the third in RIZEX, and TEHQOZ throwing a bit of a ping pong match. Oh, so close to the redirect. All over the place, the ball, but still no closer to finding another go-ahead goal.
Something I really do like about the way Team 2 is playing right now is they always have someone quite far forward to either demo, bump when they're rotating back, or to do those types of redirects. So you can see a bit more mechanical side of it, but you always have to be wary that there is someone still up if you're okay, let's do it. And right now TEHQOZ got bumped to the side a tiny bit, so couldn't get a good touch out of it. MARCBY8 straight down to the middle. RIZEX is there, and no one is challenging him.
Yeah, it almost happened in slow motion, didn't it? Or a bit too slow motion for okay, let's do it. It's such an innocuous ball. CATALYSM, for me, the one that has to take responsibility here. You're closest to the ball as it enters the D. You should be dealing with it. And because he doesn't, RIZEX is offered the free shot. Okay, right in front of net, but enough power, enough placement, and ultimately enough goals that could see them out as winners at the end of this one.
RIZEX slowing it down into his own corner. Waiting for those 50s. Once again, TEHQOZ gets it as well. Still stuck in the corner. That's exactly what you want to see if you're Team 2, but you still have 2 minutes to pass. It's a little too long to play the time-wasting game.
Up high, met by MARCBY8. TEHQOZ, once again, forced up here. Okay, let's do it, taking to the skies, but not finding too much forward momentum. CATALYSM, can he change that narrative? Yes, he can.
Better.
Oh, it's the dunk. He misses the follow-up shot from Stake, and a fantastic demo run from MIKEBOY. 2-2.
MIKEBOY saw something. He had a vision, saying like, I cannot get this ball. I can get the defender though. And then it's just an easy tap in for Stake. If you miss that, you might as well just uninstall Rocket League, let's be honest.
I've seen worse, trust me. I have seen worse.
I have done worse.
No comment.
No comment from Relic. Maybe some comment from RIZEX right down from the ceiling. RIZEX had a comment to say.
And he's going to be quite happy with that. Completely embarrassing CATALYSM and his earlier miss by, well, seeing CATALYSM miss a crucial touch ultimately on the backboard and achieving the impossible angle. That's an extraordinary goal, and okay, let's do it. They cannot catch a break.
And that is what I wanted to see. I complimented RIZEX so much on how he played in RSO. Wanted to see that more often, because it genuinely felt like that was the RIZEX we saw that could make majors, that was making majors, that was fighting at the top level of EU. He's showing that same side once again. It's been a while, and I'm glad he's back.
They need a little bit more to feel safe towards the end of Game 2, and should that win be converted? Match point already. Really nice place to be in. Carries it across net, does MARCBY8. RIZEX challenging. TEHQOZ, quick snap back on rotation, forces a double commit, almost an OG via Stake. MARCBY8, oh, the pressure's unrelenting. Stake has to throw it off to the side. In steps TEHQOZ. Stake sees RIZEX, has to challenge well, and they do so.
I'm just in love with how Team 2 is playing right now. It genuinely, as a coach, makes me so insanely happy with what they're doing. But on the other end, MIKEBOY has been a nuisance so far. Okay, on the side of okay, let's do it. Out of everyone, it's just been MIKEBOY just going for demos, boost steals, being annoying, and it's the one way they've actually gotten some offensive pressure this game.
Offensive pressure is good. Getting the final breakthrough is better. Bump, shot, great save. guess who? 10 seconds to find one. At least forcing overtime would give them another shot, but that is not the challenge result that they wanted to see. Starting practically from square one, MARCBY8's not going to allow it. Team 2, 2 wins, match point.
And before this series started, you said I would have probably thought it was going to be a 3-1 for OK, let's do it.
Sorry, no, for Team 2. For Team 2.
Okay, then you misspoke then.
Oh, I apologize.
Now it makes sense.
No, Team 2, 3-1.
Yeah. Now that makes sense in my head. Because that's what I was going to be thinking as well. Okay, it's going to be Team 2, just 3-1. Maybe a 3-0 even with the way it's been going. Because, okay, let's do it has been good. They've shown glimpses of great Rocket League. But it's just been too little all the time.
Yeah, they kind of had the opposite problem to Team 2 from game 1, whereas Team 2 had less clear-cut opportunities to score. The sort of phases of play for OK, let's do it came in fits and bursts. They were sustained, but for maybe 30 seconds at a time. Here, they really, really struggled once they hit that final third. And the worst news for them is that Team 2 only got better with time. They've got to stop the rot now. Otherwise, well, that's their tournament done, Spooks. No lower bracket here.
That's how quick it can go, especially with these types of tournaments and these types of weeklies. As this ball double commit from OK, let's do it, but not punished. That goes to the side though. Has a lot of time here, has a lot of space, gets one touch.
Shut up.
Can he get the second? Oh, he's blocked off the save from Stake. Has to be given credit.
Fireworks display, everyone saying ooh and ah, but it was almost a oh no. As dribbling through the defense, MIKEBOY can't quite find the net. Stake meets RIZEX at the backboard, a rendezvous, if you will. Haha. Follow us for more on the Rocket RB. MIKEBOY looking for the back pass, finds it through CATALYSM, who throws it away. Bit of desperation in the midfield here.
Goes up into the air. Can we see another bump attempt? We see it actually happen. It's not just an attempt. It is just a push to the side. Referee, that's a red card.
I'd say that MIKEBOY was completely pocketed there, but that'd be quite inaccurate. He was chucked out the window, never to be seen again. Easy one for TEHQOZ, 1-0.
As the young cool kids would say, yeeted to the side. RIZEX going for the ball into the middle once again. Has another touch straight out to TEHQOZ. It's too much of an angle because it was close to the wall. But MARCBY8 is once again able to keep this pressure going. Takes the boost as well. And you can see that it's just so hard right now for OK, let's do it to get out of this.
Oh, what a great redirect, and what a great call as well, throwing themselves at the ball, MARCBY8. And I do want to throw the spotlight on him just very briefly, Spooks, but too often, especially on that BDS roster, often a lot of complaints about how much does he have to his game. He is often he's a great striker, sure, but what else can he add? And ultimately, I think that's why we saw BDS drop him, but his game has improved so much, even with these early glimpses, rotationally much more astute, and it shows.
He's now the invisible hero that every team needs, but not everyone notices. This time around, RIZEX, though, gets the save, push to the side to MARCBY8. MIKEBOY gets the 50. Can he get it into the middle? Looking for a pump once again. I just genuinely feel like MIKEBOY is not out to win. MIKEBOy is out just for vengeance. He wants the bumps. He wants the demos.
Woke up on the wrong side of the bed, as we would say. And he's on the wrong side of the scoreline as well as things stand. 1-0. 3 minutes still to rectify that. Demo on MIKEBOY, the aforementioned. Stake goes up against MARCBY8. Wins ever so slightly, loses possession in the meantime. RIZEX, loose touch. TEHQOZ takes control towards their CATALYSM. Oh, no!
Painful. The counter-attack, it was awkward right there, but everyone caught off guard, no one in the right position, and it's just... It's perfect. It's a hole-in-one, but it feels so weird.
CATALYSM sure is having a day at the office, isn't he? So close to so many goal-saving challenges, to a throwaway, and yet not close enough. You think that the adaptations would have come through already. Nothing to demonstrate that. In fact, they've only regressed. Very simple dribble by, an aerial dribble by, I should say. The defender, nothing comes of it. Right down the other end. That's on target. Caught very much red-handed here.
I was gonna give compliment to RIZEX there for not challenging that ball early, but he was still too close, too far pushed up, and you get punished for that. It's an easy tap and it's an easy goal, but if that's the only goal that OK, let's do it is capable of getting, then it's not much to be worried about. MARCBY8 could maybe set himself up for one more. This ball pushed to RIZEX, up to TEHQOZ, waiting for the double. No, he doesn't get it. The bounce against him, but RIZEX not allowed to even get the double.
Definitely one of those goals where you say Team 2's at fault rather than look how good It's Okay, or Okay Let's Do It, I should say, were in that moment in time. Still, it gives them a lifeline to work with. Pressing up against MARCBY8, that's a freebie. All of a sudden, this game turned on its head.
And the man we did not expect to become the hero is all of a sudden here with 2 goals to his name, MIKEBOY. Not normally known for his shooting capabilities, is putting his team back into the game though.
A creator and an enabler, not usually a shot scorer. Here, when they needed him most, it's a reverse sweep or nothing. Or Okay, let's do it. Want to live by that motto most certainly. Otherwise, we might be heading towards our first overtime of the day. Could be exciting.
Could be exciting. First overtime that we get to cast of these weeklies. But so far, we still have to wait a bit longer. It's still a minute and a half to go. And MIKEBOY once again into the air. Maybe gets another one. Nope. This time around, the shot was way too weak. And the 50 not in his favor.
And you can see there, one of the problems that Okay, Let's Do It have been suffering from is that their shadow plays haven't exactly been good. They've been maybe half a second behind where they are needed to be. Something that Team 2 has most certainly not been having issues with. They've been super on point with their challenges, with their tackles, with their marvelous, magnificent RIZEX handling that so deftly. But again, nothing comes of it, and with a minute left to go, it really is anybody's game.
If he was able to air dribble that ball under control, that could have maybe been one of the greatest goals I have ever casted. But sadly enough, it didn't go in.
Coulda, woulda, shoulda, might have.
Perhaps.
Ifs, buts, and whens, perhaps. 2-2 still, 40 seconds left. And Okay, let's do it. Starting to smell something of an opportunity here. It's a straight-up challenge. RIZEX equal to it. Round to CATALYSM. Oh, steak! It's on a plate! Cooked. Very much medium rare.
Medium rare, or is it well done? Because he gets a well done for this one. Stayed up, saw his opportunity, and took it for himself. The 3-2 back in the lead where they needed to be. But 31 seconds, it's still enough time for Team 2 to get back into this.
You can all trace it back, though, to that one momentary lapse. The first major mistake, I would argue, of this entire series between both teams. Pushing up too far, getting a little too gluttonous, perhaps. And it could bite them in the buttocks. 15 seconds. They got to traverse the entirety of the pitch. MARCBY8. RIZEX has found TEHQOZ chasing the ball. Free space. Down it goes. MARCBY8! Oh, yes, you have seen that.
The pass from RIZEX, the bounce straight up. TEHQOZ, the speedy man himself, and the ceiling bounce into the hands of MARCBY8. When you needed it the most, he appears.
10 seconds, plenty of time. Plenty of time. No worries whatsoever. And that overtime that was threatened, well, unless there is something. Oh my goodness me. CATALYSM must be wondering how he didn't win that for his team.
I am wondering that as well right now, but there's still another opportunity to be taken right here. TEHQOZ to the side, takes a good pinch up into the air, further forward with Cooks a pinch. Can he get another touch? No, no boost in the tank, and ball just a tiny bit too far away. It's MARCBY8 up into the air. Snake is 50, not getting it at all. RIZEX almost at the 50 fast.
Barely any sort of space to work with. And the ball weren't budging. MIKEBOY spiked. Ooh, nice bump as well. Again, nobody on the same wavelength. Nobody willing to commit. Nobody willing to risk. But nobody at home. Oh, MIKEBOY gets it through the door just in the nick of time.
RIZEX to the wall once again. Looking for a pass to the middle. Actually leaves it. Smart decision. Double commit right there at the defensive end. Saved by CATALYSM. He couldn't shoot on target, but he does save his team. Okay, let's do it playing on reactions. Team 2 playing with intelligence. Can they have that moment, that moment to make the magic, to make the difference, to put Okay, let's do it down 3-0 and out of this competition? Maybe not if CATALYSM has anything to say about it. Backed up, nobody willing to break away just yet. They've got to get their bearings, and they do so, buying time. And I'm looking at Stake right now, normally a player that has insane pop-off potential. He could maybe do it for his team, but MIKEBOY passed it to the middle. It's RIZEX who misses the ball. The ball stepped a bit too high. No one getting to it, and the crossbar just saving everyone's lives.
MARCBY8 had to slow it down there. There was nobody in support. Not exactly the most convincing clearance from RIZEX either. CATALYSM waits. Waits a little bit too long. MARCBY8, straight shot. Easy enough for MIKEBOY. CATALYSM, fully loaded on boost. Meets RIZEX. Puts in a good challenge as a German. Stake. Looking for CATALYSM. Looking for a redirect. MARCBY8 having absolutely none of it. 2 minutes of overtime eclipsed. And no goal to show for either side yet.
CATALYSM left that ball alone. Stake into the middle once again, but TEHQOZ has taken control. One touch per Stake could be good, but it could actually lead to the worst thing possible. MARCBY8 had a shot on target. He's all safe to put to the side. TEHQOZ trying to go for the 50 once again, but it's into the corner and it's just a bit stuck there right now.
Both sides don't want to make that mistake. It's, both sides a lot more conservative than perhaps we've seen them previously. And I'll tell you what, if you are the blue team, you know that you give one sniff of a win to your opponents and you are asking for trouble. Dial them up.
Left alone eventually into the hands of RIZEX we go. Stake. So for this, tries to get a second touch, gets it forward once again, but it's in no man's land. No one really giving him any attention, really, because the ball's just left alone. TEHQOZ, one touch up into the air, doesn't have boost to follow it up, but so does RIZEX. Does he have to be percent? No, he does not. Ball straight down once again, MIKEBOY, but there's two of the blue side coming for it.
And they are starting to, again, play on those instincts. MIKEBOY with a demo. This is perhaps the most sustained period that Team 2 have had in the orange half for a good 2 minutes, and it was oh so brief for their liking. Round the corner, double commit again. MARCBY8 starting to become quite the central focus in a lot of these errors of rotation. CATALYSM, he's at least in the way of that shot. Put off to the side, back into the center. MARCBY8 can only go sideways, working with minimal boost. MIKEBOY winning this challenge. Hasn't got much to be able to serve up his teammates centrally here. MARCBY8 again spiking it up, and before you know it, okay, it's in the orange half, but all too soon, I imagine that's going to be heading straight back to the blue net.
Or it's not, because RIZEX still able to get 50s out of this. Finally, a big booming clear coming out. Everyone can breathe, everyone can get some boost. Nope, we cannot. MARCBY8 comes to another touch, but not the touch he probably would have liked to have. MIKEBOY into the air, wall dashes to get some more speed onto it. Gets forward once again, but TEHQOZ takes control. Stake into the middle, into the hands of MARCBY8, and we reset all over again.
It's moments like these where you're looking to RIZEX to calm everyone down, to ease his team back into the game, to earn back a little bit of control, and certainly bringing out the demos will help with that. On the far side here, it's CATALYSM who wins the race. It's CATALYSM who looks towards net. It's CATALYSM who doesn't score because of the man with the cape himself.
MARCBY8 forcing this, just keeps on pushing, even with zero boost, still wants to get some type of commit out of it. TEHQOZ, 15 into the middle. RIZEX wasn't really ready for it, but neither was the defender. And it means this ball ends up going into the air again, into no man's land, as MIKEBOY just hits it forward because he doesn't have the boost. It seems that everyone has the capabilities, has the time and space to set themselves up for a good solo play, but doesn't have the boost at the last second. The save's coming through, but not enough. CATALYSM.
It's once again that double commit. It's TEHQOZ and MARCBY8 not communicating, and RIZEX can't save this one. Credit to CATALYSM, Spooks. He places that nigh on perfectly. Maybe just a little bit more of a lawnmower would have done better, but it was good enough. It goes across the line, and it gives OK Let's Do It that lifeline with which they've got to hold on for dear life.
And these types of long overtimes, they're the most painful to lose, let's be honest.
Oh, yeah.
Because it all of a sudden, you go from being in a great spot to now 2-1. The other team has momentum to set up the reverse sweep. And you just have to calm down your team. But the one thing I am looking at, and he must be very happy right now, MIKEBOY, 2 goals and 11 shots.
Yeah. I mean, one could say that he really should have done more with those 11 shots as well. We've got to credit the defense for Team 2, but that defense seemingly could only hold out for so long. You're looking at, again, the numerous double commits, especially in overtime. We're looking at MARCBY8, the latest addition to this roster, still trying to find his way, it seems. Okay, let's do it, won the mental battle in that overtime. And that's only going to serve them well as they now look to get their second game win in a row to force a Game 5.
And for me, I'm going to look at TEHQOZ right now on Team 2. Because to me, on the offensive end, he wasn't as strong as we've seen him in the past.
Quiet.
A bit too far back and not screaming as much of how much of a mechanical guy he really is. Maybe he can change that in this game, but he has to be careful with MIKEBOY on the lurk.
Certainly. Adaptations going to be of the utmost importance for Team 2. Okay, let's do it. Have practically done just more of the same, but better. And Team 2, whether it's through demos or whether it's through something slightly different, maybe readjusting who gets on the end of these shots, could prove pivotal in getting this win and with a ticket to the semi-finals in their pockets.
And then that's just one step closer to more money in your pockets as well. Still need to make that grand final to earn your cash for tonight. It's stake though into the air. Wants to get one step closer to the reverse sweep at first. CATALYSM with 50 into the middle by RIZEX. RIZEX misses the ball, maybe for the best actually, as Stake backflips. And the goal is wide open. And only one thing can be said, Relic. Feels
Goal.
backflip, bro.
Feels backflip, bro, indeed. But even then, RIZEX confirms at least that left side of the goal is going to be a little bit more open thanks to the bump on MIKEBOY. And guess who's there at the, at the ground zero once again? CATALYSM has got to be feeling hard done by.
Definitely. He does feel like he's been the one that has just gotten the least of the luck so far. But on the other end, you got to make a bit of your own luck, like you said at the start. And let's be honest here, some of the things have been avoidable. TEHQOZ this time around is also avoidable because he completely missed the ball.
It's such a nerve settler to get that first one on the board after such a demoralizing loss for Team 2. Showing good mental strength themselves, despite very much living rent-free inside the head of the likes of MIKEBOY, who ran rampant with the shot count. They have something to hold on to, they have something to work with, but a one-goal lead, Spooks, it is never comfortable.
Not even close to comfortable. You still need at least 2 more to actually feel comfortable in this game. RIZEX trying to add one more to the total, but TEHQOZ not in a position to help out. Backcourt hit coming out from MARCBY8 was the right idea at least, but easily safe to push to the side and Stake another backflip. Has to be careful because it's kind of sitting in your mind.
Much better press from Team 2. Encountering the clearances before they ever reach the halfway line. Of course, as soon as I say that, they do get it over said halfway line and may be able to put together a bit of sustained pressure themselves. Cut out of the air. MARCBY8 latches onto it. Gets the flick on. Stake forced to go into the far corner. MIKEBOY takes out MARCBY8. Manages to give himself a little bit of wiggle room here as he moves on back. CATALYSM and Stake moving into the gap. And oh, that's such a heavy touch from Stake. MIKEBOY hits that back four, but by the time he has, everybody else is still setting up a bump onto RIZEX. This is the sustained pressure we were looking for, Spooks, but not the goal that OK Let's Do It desperately need.
MIKEBOY gets the 15 in the middle once again. CATALYSM trying to get some sustained offensive pressure. Good pass into the middle, but MARCBY8 easily read it. Gives it forward to RIZEX, who goes for another flip reset. Gets the 50 down low. MARCBY8 should be the one that could challenge this, but Stake now in a perfect position and even gets a little pass and play out of it.
Big, big mistake from MARCBY8, who has 2 choices. You can see it there. You either have to commit hard and challenge for that ball, accepting the consequences, or you do what he did, move back into a more advantageous starting point, but then dealing with those consequences, those being facing 2v1 rather than the 1v1. And, well, we all saw what happened. In fact, we almost got a second straight off the rip.
MARCBY8, good save right there, MIKEBOY. Misses the ball. And MARCBY8 actually got caught off guard by that. Didn't expect it, and I can't tell who. Neither did I expect it, because MIKEBOY has been playing solidified, really. Really just playing a strong series so far.
Yeah, not unspectacular. Oh, sorry, not spectacular, I should say, but not unspectacular either. A solid 7, 8 out of 10, and sometimes that's all you need. Sometimes all you need is just a shot downfield. Unfortunate, MIKEBOY not to catch out the defense here from Team 2. 90 seconds, and once again, we're entering the late stages of these games, Spooks, and OK, let's do it. Are finding another gear.
Well, maybe Stake here, trying to find his 6th gear, but this time around, the saves coming through, still alive. Team 2 has to be careful, though. Finally getting some type of touch away. Stake just wants to push it forward once again. Is there a follow-up? There is CATALYSM from the crossbar down into the hands of RIZEX. Can he do it again? Nobody gets the player.
I love that from RIZEX, though. So patient, gets a touch on it, and then at least forces the lift over him to allow for the clearance ultimately to come through. It's not exactly the best clearance, but it's something to burn more time off the clock. They gotta get in control of the midfield again. And even better, try and find a shot, but every opportunity getting closed down by an orange player. It's really dogged stuff out there.
RIZEX can't find the pass into the middle. It's TEHQOZ eventually getting the ball on target. Stake, a weak clear. Needs some help from MIKEBOY, but MARCBY8. It's the 50 in his favor. Ball into the middle. RIZEX is up quickly, but blocked by CATALYSM, who's, as the series goes on, CATALYSM is playing better and better and better.
Team 2 are pressing so high again. It's not a surprise to see OK Let's Do It going for a bit of Route 1 Rocket League, because it's wide open. If they can slot it underneath the bar, make sure that its form and that its trajectory is true, then that's an easy go-ahead goal. That's an easy game-winning goal. But as it stands, looks like we're going to be heading to a second consecutive overtime.
Another one for the books. I mean, we needed to wait anyway for the entire tournament to progress anyway, so why not with a couple of overtimes? Why not have a little bit of fun with it, as the first offensive push will come out of Team 2.
MIKEBOY, nothing. And he loses out. Oh, MARCBY8, you've got to have someone at the far post. TEHQOZ takes way too long, and MIKEBOY saves his earlier blushes, puts up the save. CATALYSM, I agree with you entirely, been playing better and better. MIKEBOY's been playing great. Stake tries to get in near post, and the post says no.
RIZEX tries to get the transition going. Finds another touch, back forward once again. CATALYSM in an awkward position, gives it away to Stake. TEHQOZ with a smart idea, goes to the side by MARCBY8. MARCBY8 booming the ball forward. It's a great clear. MIKEBOY is in an awkward position. TEHQOZ with a straight shot, and the CATALYSM pushing it to the side.
Finally, CATALYSM gets a save, gets a series-winning save at that as well. MIKEBOY pushes the blue team all the way back, waiting on that 100 boost, avoiding an on-rushing attacker. Okay, let's do it. Starting to write the story themselves, no longer looking for the authors to make up their minds. Team 2 have been in the driving seat for the majority of this series, but they might just be thrown out the vehicle if Okay Let's Do It are able to get away with it. Oh, triple commit, TEHQOZ far post, and he has sunk it.
Okay, Let's Do It is writing a story, but it isn't a bestseller. It's taken away by Team 2, and you know what they say, history is written by the victors, and Team 2 shall write, we move on.
Oh, it feels so bad as well, if you're Okay Let's Do It, to have honestly looked the better team in that relatively short overtime, and then to fall by the wayside because of a triple commit in the end. That was a huge error that has ultimately cost them a series and a run to the grand final, Spooks.
Definitely, and it's sad to see, but on the other hand, I did find overall the Team 2 was the stronger side.
Yeah.
It felt like they were more controlled and more playing together better. Like, it felt like a genuine team already. While on the other hand, Okay Let's Do It had times where they were really great, times where you really saw their talent, and times where it just wasn't it.
Inconsistent, or rather not consistent enough might be the better way of putting it. Let's take a little look at the bracket then to see how not just this series, but how the rest of the results are affecting things as we go forward. As you can see there, Team 2 going to be going up against TEHQOZ, who have taken down Peseteros 3-1. We're still waiting for the result of Solacni versus Fake SK Gaming, another name that you might be familiar with if you watched Rising Stars Odyssey. That's still at 1-0, so a long series. Might have to wait a little while to get the results of that one. Whoever does win, of course, going up against the ever-present Gross Nude, captained by Captain Econ himself. Always a great presence here in these tournaments, who took down Minecraft 3-1. Now, if I'm correct, Spooks, by the way, we should be continuing on with this side of the bracket, so yes, we should continue to see Team 2 moving forward. What sort of challenges do you feel they'll be going up against in the form of TEHQOZ?
Well, they'll be going against their old friend Simas, who has found his new home with Carson Ocelon. So it's in general, it's also quite a strong team. I think it's going to be another similar battle to what we just saw. Overtimes, close battles, and very much dependent on those types of counterattacks where you just catch the enemies napping just a tiny bit.
The first seed then rumbles on. First speed bump done and dusted through the quarterfinals. Now it's time to tackle the second. Spooks, we will bid you adieu until the grand finals. Boyo Royo on the way to join me. What a raucous party that's going to be. We hope that you join us for that after this.